Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your Dragon Slayer Crone with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. My name is Gayle Nicholson. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme, our traveling crystal crone with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And as always, supporting us from below, we have our our stargazing crone, Damaris Samolinski, with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Hey, ladies, how's your week been?
Yikes, mine has been rough, very rough. My dog has been sick, and I took her to the vet yesterday, but she's doing better today, but it's been rough.
So I have a question. Did you find a toad in your house? I'm only asking because we keep having a toad problem in our house and cats not being well.
Really? No, I don't have a toad problem. No. Yeah. I think she got into my son has a dog, Pizza. Her name is Pizza. And I think she got into her food, and she's got a very sensitive stomach. So it really affected her really, really bad. And sick since last Friday. And I couldn't get an appointment, but she was not like in pain. I would have took her to like an emergency thing.
Yeah.
But I took her yesterday, and they gave her an IV. They gave her some shots, and she's eating now, and she's feeling better. But it's been rough.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I know it's always hard when our fur babies are sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, because the fur babies never learn language. They can never tell us. No.
I
just need to fart, Mom.
Yeah. They can't.
They bubble water for farting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, like when you have your babies that are sick because they can't talk. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is very much so. It's the same thing.
Send some healing juju for the little fur babies.
Thank you. She's been sleeping a lot. I guess the medication or whatever they gave her.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I am. I'm sorry. I've been busy, very busy. We did a transitioning class so for those who aren't in the know, my husband is in the military, and we're transitioning out of the military. And so they have a program, they have systems set up for us to transition out and classes that we take. So we were doing what's called Boots to Business for the last 2 days. And it was very interesting. Our podcast was topic for a little bit, and various other exciting things were also on tap as well. But yeah, so I feel like my brain is going. Yeah, it's very exciting.
The possibilities, right?
It is. The possibilities are endless. And then so the gentleman, the proctor that was, or instructor that was
Syracuse University.
teaching, he is actually a professor at Syracuse University. And a business professor, no kidding. And so, and this was, the class is set up by, with the help, I think, of the University of Missouri or Mississippi. I can't remember. It was Mississippi. Kevin's chiming in from the
How is Kevin?
How is Kevin? Hold on, he's gonna come.
Hi, ladies. I'm feeling much better. Thank you. Hey, you guys look great. Look at you. You guys are looking good.
You look good.
We're very happy to see you looking well and smiling.
Yeah, thanks. I am too.
In your life the last few weeks, and we're really glad you're feeling better.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I am, and hopefully I'll be even better a month from now.
Yes, awesome. Definitely. Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you stateside again.
Yes.
Absolutely. That'd be great. That'd be great.
That will be good. Yeah. So that was a huge thing, but yeah. So it is. It's really kind of cool. So it is an awesome program. and had a lot of great opportunity. There were about a dozen of us in the class, all at various stages of our transitioning life. So yeah, it was really good.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see, what did I do this past week? Well, I finished working 11 days straight of 11 or more hours per day. And celebrated with a metal concert.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. How was it?
It was phenomenal. For any of you that have gone to the event center at just kicked my camera. The event center at Turning Stone. I gotta say, I have never been to a venue that was more efficiently planned and designed in my life. I mean, you came in off of the road, you're right into the parking garage. The event center literally is 0.3 miles, like less than a block in steps into where you go in. It's about half court of a normal size arena, right? And the back wall is just one row of seat with like a hallway, an open hallway behind it. And the bathrooms are right there. So I actually got like some of the best seats in the house, actually. Wow. I didn't have to worry about anybody standing behind me going, sit down. Because I don't sit during the whole show. Sometimes it's the wife going, please sit down. My husband's watching nothing but your ass. But yeah, we had a great time. Went up to the bar at the steakhouse before, went there to go eat early, and I'll be darned if it wasn't all packed anyways. Well, they had Manilow, they had Hall & Oates, and they had a Carole King tribute band playing that weekend. So the place was just slam packed.
Wow.
But I go up there to get a drink and stuff beforehand, and a wonderful date with me. We're walking around looking for a place to sit down, and he sits down on one cushion, and I'm standing there, and I look over, and I'm like minorly speechless for a second, and then just like came into this choice, and kept chatting and laughing with my date. Now, the reason this choice occurred is because 3 feet away from us is Barry's husband, Barry's personal assistant, and these other 2 people that I've seen, but I don't know who they are. Right?
Oh, okay.
And they're sitting at a table chatting, and my date's like, yeah, and there's that reserved table with nobody at it but a reserve sign. And I'm like, well, that's because that's probably Barry's table for after the show or whatever. I don't know. But I chose not to interrupt the people that I knew and just continue on, chatting with my date, and told him later who they were when we were going back down in the elevators. And one of the things that I realized during the show is that and you know how your brain always wants to make stuff up to fit into your version of reality.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. It never happens to me.
Yeah.
No, never. It's just my problem. I'm that delusional. So I'm just, disclaimer ahead of time. This very well could be that. Whether it is or not, I don't fucking care. I like my version of events.
Okay, let's go with it.
It's your world, right?
It doesn't matter. No,
it's her world.
That's right. In fact, that's what I told my date. Welcome to my world. Thank you for joining me.
Oh my gosh.
At any rate, no, I noticed that during the show, right, I whistle the same way in certain particular spots. And although I had mentioned to Barry's personal assistant that I was coming, and it wasn't announced, this Turning Stone event, until I said, no, I'm not going to Detroit. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, look at this one, Gayle, So they knew I was going to be there. Okay. They knew I was bringing a date. And there was some conversation online that was a little risque. Anyway, so they knew I was going to be there and whatever. But I noticed that I whistled differently. And I think at some point during the show, Barry's vibe changed. Like he recognized the pattern of the feedback whistles that I give.
The feedback whistles.
Well, yeah, it is. There's certain ways that I whistle in certain points of the show, right? That's like so when funny. He takes his jacket off, I wolf whistle, right? But I do it a certain way, right? And I do it with my fingers. It's a very loud whistle.
Wow. Oh, okay, then don't do it. I was going to say, I'll demonstrate. No,
no. Go blow out the speakers.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Right. So it was just one of those things where it was like, okay, I feel like he feels like he knows I'm here, you know, and I don't care if he really does or really doesn't. I like my version of him.
That's right, Gayle.
He knew you were there, Gayle.
Stick to your reality.
Well, let's give a little hellos to the people that we know are here. So, hi, Ada. Good to see you, my dear. Hello, Harry. And Reginald, so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see all of you here because, oh my gosh, I didn't put anything out this week ahead of time. So thank you all for just showing up.
Woo-hoo.
And healing power for the puppies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome stuff. All right, my dear. Sorry, I kind of commandeered stuff, but I needed to talk about that because I'm noticing I had this healing done. For those of you who saw it, I loaded the show into our group on Sunday. But Joanne's Healing Within, I volunteered for a healing from her guest. And at the beginning of it, I'll be honest with you, and I'm going back to give feedback September 7th. But at the beginning of it, I was like, oh, you're keying into old stuff, dude. You know, like this is way past, you know, I'm so much more healed and developed than you're, you know, oh my God. It's just hilarious how arrogant we can get as we progress a few years into healing.
It's amazing what our egos tell us, right?
Yes. Absolutely. So he does this healing around my throat chakra and my heart chakra and, you know, my inner child. And I got to tell you, I am actually feeling some really, I don't want to say intense. That's not what I mean. I don't mean intense. I mean like the whole thing, like all of it is just shifting. And I'm noticing difference in what I choose to say and what I choose not to say. And having clearer boundaries about what I'm saying in front of whoever I'm saying it in front of and stuff. And his big question for me was, who took your voice? You know, like Ariel, like Little Mermaid kind of thing, you know? And I've been looking at that question because actually when he and I first started doing this healing on Sunday, it was the day after the concert and I had completely blown out my vocal cords.
Whistling.
Well, that's most of the reason why I ended up whistling, because the whoos were going crack, you know? But so, you know, I thought maybe he was picking up on that. But the reality is, no, I've got myself convinced that I have this voice, and yet I'm not saying so very, very much, you know? So I'm grateful for that. And I'm really, really surprised and delighted with what's opening up so far just from Sunday. All right, my dear.
Wonderful.
All right,
let's do it. All right, let's do it.
All right. It's funny because what I'm going to talk about today talks a little bit about what you're saying about that healing and what you're releasing, right? Okay, so the sun goes into Virgo tomorrow. And so does Mercury retrograde, as you guys know, goes in Virgo. It has been in Virgo since July 29th, and it will stay till October 5th. But it goes into retrograde tomorrow until the 15th of September, which is my birthday. So it's going to go direct on my birthday. I'm so happy.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So, the themes also, Mars is in Virgo as well until the 27th.
Oh,
So
wow.
tomorrow we have to be careful with communication, with being aggressive, with being, too impulsive, compulsive, because that energy of Mars is there until the 27th
Okay.
of August. Did you have something to say, Gayle?
No, I was thinking what 27th being after my birthday, but you said August.
August, yeah. So this month they'll go, Mars will go into the other sign, but it's Virgo.
How long has Mars been in Virgo? Or been, it's in Virgo right now, right?
It's in Virgo right now, and it's going to leave on the
27th.
On the 27th.
Yeah, how long has it been in?
For a while now. It's been there for a while. Okay. I'm not sure on the dates.
Okay. I just lots of things that have been happening, and it's like, oh wait, that with what you just described, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. This week, especially because of the Mercury retrograde and communication, we have to be patient, because Mars has no patience. Mars
has been there since July 10th.
Okay. What was that?
Mars has been in Virgo since July 10th. I was like,
thank you. I would have looked in my ephemeris. I have it right here, but where all the planets are. But
what is it? For that? Just keep chatting, sweet.
Okay, so the themes of Mercury retrograde in Virgo, I want to talk about that. Now, all the retrogrades are associated with the RE words. So reclaim your power, reassess, refocus, retreat, recharge. All of those RE words, are really important during any retrograde, right? Period. They rule those RE words, so to speak. So Virgo, as you guys know, is the sign of health. Now, health has every level, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So this retrograde wants you to sort of like retreat and see where your energy needs cleansing, where you need to sort of like release energy that that doesn't serve you anymore. Also your environment around you, your everyday routines. What do you have to sort of like reassess during, your daily routines? What do you have to let go of? What do you need to change? Because again, Virgo is all about the health, and we have to look at all those layers, all those levels of your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. I know I was talking to Ada the other day, and she's been away on vacation, and she was saying that she feels off center because, she's not in her normal routine, and she feels like she's disconnected in a sense because she's been away from home, for a few weeks. So now she's going to come back to herself, and she's going to go back into, being grounded, being in her body. Because sometimes when we're away, we're busy doing everything else and we're not regrouping. That's another word. And I would love the audience to write whatever RE words, is good for them. Regroup, recharge, reclaim, reevaluate. That's a good one. And so that's reconnect. I love that.
Reconnect.
That's what Amy needs to do because she's been disconnected because she was away, right? And sometimes when we're away for a long time, we disconnect. So any of those RE words would be wonderful to post and see, what you guys are doing with those, with that energy of that Virgo and Mercury retrograde, which is really what we should be doing right now. Obviously, cleansing our own aura, seeing what we need to, where we need to put boundaries, what we need to, say no to. So I would say the word reject.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of the times we feel like obligated to say yes, especially with it when it comes to family or, people that are really close. We don't want to say no. We don't want to upset them. And so we really need to reject some things and say, nope, can't do that, because we need to keep our systems, our layers, our levels cleansed. And that's what that energy of Mercury retrograde in Virgo is all about. We need to heal ourselves first. And so then we can be the healer A month was, wow. Yeah, she was away for a month and it was too long. You know, she disconnected from her center. So this is also grounding, because obviously Virgo is an earth sign. So we have to ground ourselves, center ourselves. You know, again, our health is so important. If we are not healthy, we can't help anybody else, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, this week for me, I was really off because I was so worried mentally about my dog. I didn't know what was going to happen with her. I didn't know what the doctor was going to say, you know, the vet. So I was really off, and I was really anxious and nervous for her. And I think that energy was, you know, projected onto her too, you know, my own nerves, you know. So I did some healing today for myself and for her. And so that's what this is all about too, you know. It's keeping our energies cleansed and our environment, our home, and rejecting what no longer serves, what no longer we should participate in, because otherwise we become too energetically, you know, what's the word?
Mattered.
I want to use that word, staticky, where we're not in tune, right? Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that.
No, I'm going to add, but with my segment, so I don't want to take from your segment.
Yes, definitely. You know, because sometimes you guys, you know, add. So for the next, you know, till September 15th, this is the energy that we're experiencing with this retrograde. And also this week with the Mars energy, being very careful how we communicate, because obviously Mars, as you guys know, is a warlike planet, and it wants to be aggressive. It wants to be compulsive, impulsive. It has no patience whatsoever. So sometimes we may lose patience with some, you know, with some people in some conversations. I know that sometimes, you know, I have no patience with when it comes to certain people, and I, you know, blow up sometimes. So it's about, you know, just retracting, retrieving, and just letting them be, right? And walking away from sometimes, you know, battles that we shouldn't fight, because sometimes we shouldn't fight every battle, right? It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of out of us, and then it takes a while to sort of like regroup and sort of like get back into, you know, our center. I know that when I argue with anybody, you know, the energies that happen when you're arguing, it just takes everything, it discalibrates everything. So we have to recalibrate. So that's important to know. The number one, which is a masculine energy, is the masculine principle, is the I am. You know, when I see that number one, it's all about reclaiming my power. It's about leadership. It's about pioneering something. It's about, you know, starting something new also, because the one is new beginnings. You were talking about the business class that you took. So it's about figuring out, especially with this retrograde, figuring out what business you can do, where it has to do also with health, right? Mental health, emotional health, physical, and also spiritual health. With us, obviously, we work with the spiritual stuff. So what can we bring to the table that can be, you know, spiritually enhance someone's life? So a lot of energies going on right now. And, you know, that's, I don't want to talk about the other planets and the other energies. I'll leave it for next week. But today I wanted to talk about that because it's happening tomorrow. It's starting all tomorrow with the Virgo energy and the retrograde and all of that. And remember the RE words, whatever RE word fits you for now. We can put it in the comments.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. The RE word. The RE prefix means again, right?
Yeah.
So
remember, right? To be a member once again.
They are going backwards and retracing their pathway again.
Yeah.
Right. And they've got to go over where they've already traveled again. And, you know, so, you know, yeah, any of those RE words, I love the way that you put that.
Also relationship, right? It's an RE word. So when we relate to someone.
But why doesn't it mean I'm late again?
What? Relate? We have to relate to people, right? And so how are we relating to people, especially this week with that Mars energy? How are we relating? We have to always look at the self, because it starts with the self, So we have to look at relationships too, because again, how are we relating to others?
Right.
Yeah. And I like the word remember, because it's really about becoming a member once again. And so it's remember, becoming a member.
That's interesting. That's slightly different from the way that I heard Marianne Williamson describe it once.
Oh, what did she say? I like her too.
Yeah. She's doing a Sunday sermon, and she was talking about remembering, and that is putting the pieces back together so that it becomes one cohesive whole, right? So you've got, like your arm is a member of your body, and when you remember, you reattach your arm to your body, right? So it's bringing all of those disparate parts back together to get the whole picture.
I like that, since we're talking about Virgo, which is the health, and I was talking about the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. It's like putting those pieces back together and in alignment, so that you could be whole, right? So I like what you're saying. I always looked at it as remember, being a member once again of a group, so it's a spiritual tribe, or maybe people that we've been together in a past life. We have a soul like energy that it's like deja vu. Sometimes we're like, I know this person again, from before, and it's coming back together with also soul connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal. Awesome stuff. Awesome. And thank you for that.
Oh, you.
So before I go on to our crystal of the week, hey everyone, I'm really excited, but I want to let you know. See, look, in case you want to know what to do with the fun stickers, everybody, I put them all over my water bottle, and then I have them on my coffee mug. So then when people ask me about the podcast, I'm advertising.
Yes.
And actually, Greg, does Greg have one? No, Greg doesn't. I actually now have them on my the stickers also on my tablet case as well. So I am becoming sticker crazy. All right, enough about stickers. Let's go on to the crystal of the week, which is fire opal, right? I am right. I didn't miss my week. It's fire opal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I only ask that because every now and again I jump ahead. So I confirm.
She's right.
So pretty.
Isn't that awesome? That actually looks more like a black opal than a fire opal. And they're distinctly different, because a fire opal is more orange or yellow, and it's found in Mexico, and it's found in volcanoes that are extinct now. So it's silicate that it's formed just like a Australian opal, which there are many kinds. It's just a very different area, and the matrix is just slightly different. But here's the thing about fire opal that I love, and that I really think is very poignant for the energy that we're in. So fire opal, or fire, right? It's energy. Yeah. It's invigorating. It's passion. It's
Mars.
It is. It's Mars, and it's creative. And that's what a fire opal really represents. And the energy, when you bring a fire opal into your energy sphere, which, by the way, when you're working with crystals, you can do it, yes, where you're wearing them, they're physically on you. But if they're within the space that you're in, so you have that crystal is still working with you. All right. You don't have to always have them on your present to make it work, but, or to make, you know, to really feel the benefit in the juju. Right. So what I found very interesting when Gayle said about her voice. So fire opal is all about self-expression, and it's about vocalizing through your own intuition, because it really connects with several of our chakras, right? So it connects with our root chakra, it connects with our sacral, our solar plexus, and our intuition. So, which is our third eye. And the really cool thing is when you're connecting to your own intuition, you have a tendency to be also connecting to your own version of well, not your own version, your version, not your version. For some reason, that word wants to come out, not that word. You're connecting to your self-expression. You know, you're actually connecting to what is important to you. And
point of view.
Now, pardon?
Your point of view.
Yeah, and your point of view, which is really important. Like you said, Gayle, you're kind of sitting with that observation of the question that the person asked. And it's a really good one to ask yourself more than once on this journey. Because how often, at first you might be like, oh yes, I'm expressing myself, I'm saying what it is I want to say, but how often do we get pulled back into the societal norm, which we're sitting there and we may not actually want to think about it, but we suddenly are like, oh yeah, and you're just sitting and you might be, and next thing you know, you're losing your voice because you're just nodding in agreement to what's being said around you, even though you're not necessarily in agreement. Does that make sense with what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But fire opal comes back and it reminds us, right? And it does it through that energy, that burning fire energy.
R-E word, reminds.
It is, and it reminds us, and it revitalizes that.
Ooh, another one.
Yeah, another one. It revitalizes our passion, which again, I thought was great because when you're doing a boots to business or a business class and you're talking about options, you're getting excited about something that is a passion. Or maybe you're like going, you know what? Yeah, my passion, I don't need to go this route with it. Learning, you get to learn what your boundaries are in that sense. But I really am, when I saw this morning, because I double checked before I went off what the stone was, and I read, that was fire opal, the energy that came through for me, that it is all about passion, and it's about tapping into that, what your passion is, connecting into the thing that reminds you what you're excited about. One of the things that you'll feel like when you're working with a stone such as fire opal, you're going to feel like a phoenix, which I've been feeling a lot like a phoenix lately. With so many things in my life, I'm feeling this need to that like it is a rebirth, and that I am gaining strength. Another RE, which, and of course, that's what a phoenix is. It's a passionate, fabulous energy that is reborn.
Another one.
Look at this.
Today.
Words. They're just jumping out, everybody. So when I really, they are not a common stone. A true fire opal. It is one that if you choose to purchase, or especially if you choose to purchase, make sure you go to somebody who's reputable, because you don't want it to end up being a fake. It's it's a stone that people do try to fake, and which is sad, but it's the nature of the beast, so to speak. But if you do have that opportunity, really sit with it and connect with the stone and see what it is that it's guiding you in terms of your own voice, in terms of making sure that, you know, you're reconnecting with your own desires. But, and really see what it helps out. Now, on a really cool thing, working with Firestone in a physical level, it boosts the metabolism.
Awesome.
Which, you know, those of us who are in perimenopause or menopausal stage, we would love that.
Nice.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Krista.
So that's, do you guys have anything to add about Fire Opal or any questions?
I like what you said just now, because also we have to, the physical body, you know, we have to be healthy in order for you, for Gayle or myself or anybody to restart, to reboot, to rebirth. We have to have the energy. We have to have the health to do it. Without it, we can't. So the physical body is something very important right now to take care of. Because as you know that when we're disaligned spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, it then manifests within the body as something, a disease, right? Not at ease.
Not at ease, yeah.
Right. So you have to be very, very cautious during these days to just be grounded, not, you know, react. Ooh, another one.
React.
And just respond, not react. Because
another RE word. Respond.
Let's rewrite our script, right?
Nice.
Exactly.
To rewrite it.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. So yeah, no, it is. It's a really great one, and like I said, and I didn't get to it, and I will make this a priority this week. Is to, that's my gate bell. To definitely write down from the summer equinox all the stones that we have used, because they really, if you follow them, those of you who have the magnet, look back at them and see that energy. It really is telling a story, and it's almost like a footpath of everything that's going on. So it's really brilliant, really and truly brilliant.
Nice. Well, awesome.
All
Krista,
right.
you want to tell us a little bit about Patreon?
Oh, sure. We have a Patreon page, which is our Coven of Joy members. We have two options that you can choose to join us with. And we love it. Our citrine level is the level which we love because you guys help keep the lights on, as we like to share and say. Our amethyst level, you get a little extra time with us twice a month with and you're on the screen with us. So you get to ask us questions during Moon and Woo. We'll be having our next Moon and Woo on Monday, this upcoming Monday at 9 a.m. on the East Coast time and 3 p.m. for me. So if you want to join, it's not too late. Go to Patreon and look up 3 Crones in the Woo
Woohoo! I love it. All right. Let's do this. All righty. So, once again, this is all gonna fall into line, but we're talking right now about going within and looking at where that healing needs to be so that we can emerge right into this new way of being, this new age, if you will, of Aquarius, where each of us individually contribute to the collective as a whole. Not
you just gave me chills, by the way.
Right?
You did.
No longer waiting for the ones up on the pedestal to tell us what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do.
100%.
but allowing the creator to shine through us and say, here, this is what I came for. What can I share with you? How can I help you? Right? That's where we're headed with all of this. That's the whole point, right? Yeah. So at a new level, just like I was a little shocked on Sunday to realize, oh yeah, we got to revisit that lonely inner child again and again and again, you know, just, you know, saying, hey, you'll be fine is not enough, you know, and working with that stuff and revisiting again and again.
There goes that R-E word.
Exactly. The next phase
I'm writing them down, by the way. There's
excellent.
There's a lot of them.
There are.
We can review them later. So at a new level here, what are those wounds? Like the James asked me, you know, who took your voice? And of course, I'm going back to the almost rote answer of, well, my godmother used to say, children should be seen and not heard, right? And yes, that's still valid. That is when my little girl inside me went, oh, I guess I should shut up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not necessarily the current answer to that question, okay? Because the more current answer to that question, to get as vulnerable as I can, is to probably say, the guy that I ran into Saturday night, Barry's husband, who can be known as somebody who's a little bit brutal emotionally, and if he doesn't like you, you're cut off, okay? I made a comment the day that Biden announced that he was running for president that had this person unfriend me. So, like, ever since then, right? I've been a little bit more down low about my political activity, you know, and
that could get us in trouble. That could get us in trouble.
Yeah, something I'm gonna say is gonna be the wrong thing and get me in trouble in the worlds that are important to grown-up Gayle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new answer to those age-old questions that we just kind of reject out of hand because we think we've answered them before, you know. Actually sit with yourself for a minute and ask yourself. Don't assume you already know the answer. What is the current answer to this question? Who took my voice this week, this month, this year? The last time that I started not talking about things, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say that, I think who clipped your wings, you know? Because and really that's what I think it is, because you soar when you're able to express yourself and be, you know, in your soul expression. But when you can't, it's like somebody clipped the wings.
Literally. Absolutely. So, you know, looking at that, and it's not about blaming them for whatever it is they said or did that had you stop yourself in your tracks. And it is not about blaming you for stopping in your tracks. It's about looking at, okay, here is the new version of this trigger.
Taking responsibility, right? So that's another one, responsibility.
Yes,
responsibility, yeah.
So you are never to blame. You are responsible for what you allow and tolerate and request access into your life. All right. So take a bit and sit with that. What is it that are those old wounds that are still to this day at a certain level for whatever reason? Maybe they've been reactivated by something recent. I'm just pouring these RE words out here.
You are too.
I'm telling you, you're
on a roll, and I'm writing them down.
Okay. But what might have reactivated those triggers for you in a different way that you didn't recognize it? Because don't forget that subconscious is a smart rat, and it's still out to protect you from bad things happening again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And anything that looks like it, that can be magnetized because it looks like it, right? Or it feels like it, or it sounds like it, or it's got a similar vibe to it, right? Those are all now suspect as well. So when we allow that subconscious to extrapolate upon the triggers to protect us, right? We really have to take a look at what are we protecting ourselves from? Why are we protecting ourselves from this? Is this something that really would benefit me now at the age of 50 that didn't benefit me when I was 15?
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's the good thing to not spout off in history class.
You're saying exactly what this energy is about. You know, like that's what we have to rewind and go back and see what, you know, what we need to take ownership of, what we need to heal, what we need to not allow again, reject, right? You're saying it all.
Yeah. And don't forget to write down rewind.
There you go. And these are the things that literally on a day-to-day basis get in the way of your passion, your love, and your prosperity.
Yeah.
All right. Because you don't get to experience the fullness of everything around you. Because all you're looking for ways to protect yourself. Well, I can't let that in my box. That's dangerous.
Yeah. And to be unseen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So today is the day for you to continue to go deeper and looking. Where is it that those trigger points have shifted a little bit and they look different now? But they're, you know, what do you need to do with them? How can you release that barrier that you put in your way?
Release.
Yeah.
Release. Yes, absolutely. And to take that a little bit further, let's look at today's card of the day.
Excellent.
4 of Swords. Wow.
Yes.
And what is she doing? Tell us, Gayle.
She's resting. She's recuperating.
Resting, recuperating.
There are more RE words.
She is recalibrating. She's reflecting. Yeah. And
oh my God. It always comes together.
Recreating, right? She's relaxing in a way that is restorative. She's recreating. She's recreating herself, right? And you know, we look at that card, and that card always bothers me because it looks like an effigy on top of a sarcophagus.
Yes. Like she's in a coffin.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not really on top there. She's really in the box, you know? So that always kind of bugs me about this particular drawing on this card. But it really is about taking that time, putting your swords aside. Okay. And slipping into that mode that is the most healing for the human being. And
recovering,
that is
right?
Yeah. Recovering. Restorative rest. Only when you are asleep does your body do the healing work on your tissues and cells that needs to be done on a daily basis, right?
Exactly.
So you need that rest. You need to go within and just recuperate. Yeah, restore.
Exactly.
Respite.
Yeah. Respite.
Whenever this card appears in any of the readings that you do, know that it's signifying that now is the time for you to take a break. Now is not the time to be full speed ahead. Now is the time for healing, restoration, all of that, right? If you're having a hard time working through a problem or starting to feel ill or need some fresh ideas, the best thing that you can do is retreat to a quiet place. Retreat. Okay?
I just can't believe how it all came together with that card.
Oh, always. Yep.
Always. Woo is present.
Surprised anymore, you know?
Yeah. Why? Now, why are we surprised? No.
Right. Now, also, the 4 of Swords may be advising you to seek counsel. You may need to go to an expert, somebody with eyes outside, that can see from the outside of your bubble where the iridescence is, because you can't see that from the inside. The world just looks like the world from inside of a bubble. Okay. It's only when the light hits from the outside that people outside the bubble can see where there is some color going on there, right? Not clarity, but a spot of whatever color may be showing up, right? So sometimes you need that outside set of eyes to go, hey, sister, look at this. This is something that I've noticed that you keep doing. or keeps coming up for you. Maybe we should talk about that, right?
Ladies, I'm sorry to cut you guys off, Gayle. I have to get going. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us today, and continue. And I'll see the replay to finish what you're going to talk about. Bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks, dear.
Bye.
So I was just talking to somebody else the other day, and they're like 3 or 4 times they were like apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry this. I'm so sorry this. I thought time just got away from me, and I don't have enough time for this. And time was very much a repeated concern in this person's language. And I sat down with them and I said, look, this is a recurring problem. Where's the payoff for you? How much do you get to skate out from under because you didn't manage your time, right? But what's the cost to you, right? You're constantly running around apologizing to people that don't feel that they require apologies. You're doing this to you, right? And we had a great conversation around that. But sometimes you may need that outside set of eyes to go, look, I've noticed in the last hour's conversation, you brought this up 3 times. Let's talk about it. What's hooking you in there, right? Or how is that serving you? And if it's not serving you the way that you prefer for it to serve you, how can I help you let it go? So that it's not a driving force in your life anymore. All right. Now, conversely, at the end of all of this, that card may be your hint to keep an idea secret for now. Keep it under wraps. Incubate. It's not ready yet. Keep developing it, but it's not ready for, opening soon yet. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Let your idea grow in your mind before you share it with the world. And if you ask yourself, you will tell yourself the correct answer about exactly how to take action on that now or later. All right. All right. Fabulous. And then lastly, we want to say congratulations to this week's Woo Woo giveaway winner, CJ Ives Lopez. Yay!
Wow, yay, CJ!
Congratulations, CJ. I'm so very happy that you won this week. We love you very, very much. You and the authors on the porch. You have been such an instrumental person in getting so many people over that hump into publishing. So thank you very, very much for what you do and how you be. And congratulations, because every week we here at 3 Crones give away a 30-minute, reading to one of our listeners. And this week, CJ, it's you. So all you have to do is reach out to Damaris, Krista, or myself and say, I chose you. And then we will put you on our schedule, which one you chose. And we will do a reading with you. Now, if you pick me, it will be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading, which are really cool and kind of rare. Almost nobody ever does crystal readings, and nobody does it the way Krista does it. That's for sure. And then also, Damaris, she'll do a numerology reading for you. All right, so just pick whichever one that you want, and we'll get you on the schedule right away. And of course, for everyone who did not win this week, that doesn't mean that you didn't win overall. You still have access to all 3 Crones at discounted rates. So whenever you're ready, just reach out to the Crone of your choice and let us know how we can serve you best. All right? Yes. Have any final comments this week before we get going?
No, I really don't. I am amazed at our timing. We are awesome this week with that. But yeah, no, it's been quite an energetic week, and I love the message about keeping maybe something to yourself before sharing it with the world, because yeah, you're right. Things have to incubate a little bit.
That's right. Absolutely. All right, my dear. Thank you so much for being my cohort in fun, and have a fantastic week to you and your home. Love you guys, and we'll see you real soon.